Hey, what's up guys, Jaeky here. Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Keychron Q1HE. This is another Hall effect keyboard. It is a 75% Hall effect keyboard. Shout out to Keychron for sending this out for review, but as always, that does not affect my opinion of it at all. Starting with the price, this is going to be retailing for $219. I believe this is USD. And on the website, you can pick between fully assembled or a bare bone kit. And you can also choose between two colorways. You can either choose black or white. I have the white version here, and the switches inside of here are Hall effect switches. They are the Gateron double rail magnetic nebula switch. So yeah, Wooting has definitely transformed the keyboard market. There's a ton of Hall effect keyboards coming out now. This is no exception. If you remember a while back, I reviewed the Boog 75, which is another 75% Hall effect keyboard. The Boog 75 was really good, really nice build quality, and sounded incredible as well. So yeah, let's get into the unboxing here while I go over some of the technical specs. So you have a gasket mounted design on the Q1 as well as a full metal body. So the build quality is going to be really nice on this. And you also get Bluetooth support as well, so you can pair this keyboard via Bluetooth if you want. And of course, since it is a Hall effect switch, you can customize the actuation point. And I believe there is rapid trigger as well. Inside of here, we get a manual. So the keys are hot swappable, but they do say on the website that the Q1 is only compatible with magnetic switches that are sold on the Keychron website. So I'm not too sure about that. I already unboxed this earlier. I just put it back in the box, but it does come inside the bag here. This is what the keyboard looks like. It's very, very heavy. Like I said, it's a fully metal body. So this is all aluminum right here. And on the top, you can see there are two switches so that you can switch between Windows and Mac, and also Bluetooth mode and cable mode as well. And I believe the G is just a 2.4 gigahertz. And you have the USB-C connection right here. So yeah, build quality is very solid. Full metal body and PBT keycaps as well. These are OSA profile keycaps rather than like your typical like square cherry ones. In the box, you also get a white braided USB-C cable, and you also have an adapter here. So you can either go USB-C to USB-C, or with the adapter, we'll just go USB-C to USB-A. So yeah, decent cable. You also get 4 extra keycaps here. In the box is another adapter with USB-C and USB-A. And then here's a bag with little screwdriver, some screws, standoffs. This is probably if you are looking to open up the board and actually mod it. That's nice that they provide a little toolkit for you to actually mod the board if you're into that. And you also get a 2.4 gigahertz dongle that you can use with something like a laptop. And you also get a switch puller and a keycap puller 2-in-1 in case you want to take off the keycaps, take off the switches. So yeah, they pretty much provide an entire kit for you to disassemble the keyboard if you want. But let's actually get into the performance of the board. We're going to go over the software and also the performance in-game, whether or not the rapid trigger and customizable actuation point is comparable to something like a Wooting. And we're also going to do a sound test as well later on in the video. Okay, before we get into the software and performance, I just want to go over some more specs. So you can see on screen right now, these are the switches with the forces that are required to actuate the switch. And as you can see in this exploded view, you can see how the entire keyboard is assembled and what every part of the keyboard looks like. Like I said earlier, it is double gasket mounted. And also these stabilizers are screw-in rather than plate mounted, which some people prefer. And yeah, this is a very heavy boy. It's around 1700 grams. Typing angle is 5.2 degrees. And for full compatibility with keycap sets, the RGBs are south facing. Okay, that's enough yapping. Let's actually plug this in, take a look at the software, and then go over performance in game with the rapid trigger and customizable actuation as well. And then we will do a sound test afterwards. One thing I do want to touch on is the knob. The tactility of the knob is actually really good. It's very hard to actually hit this accidentally and change your volume. So yeah, the steps on the knob are pretty solid and very tactile, and clicking the knob down, very satisfying as well. So no complaints about the knob. I actually really like it. The RGBs immediately turn on. It's on a default, just default breathing mode. So let me actually find the website here. Okay, so we're on the website here to change all the settings related to the keyboard. It's just launcher.keychron.com. Here we go, connected to the keyboard. You can see here on the key map tab, we can change all of the mapping, and you can change it. Looks like you can change it individually too. Looks like you can assign macros as well. So you have different numbered macros, and then you probably just go into the macro tab to change that to actually set the macros. That's the key map tab. We're just gonna leave everything default. Over here, we can change the lighting. So you can see all of the different effects here, 22 presets. You can change the brightness as well. Okay, it looks like there's actually no per key RGB. So it actually looks like there's no way to change per key lighting. Yeah, keep in mind this keyboard is on pre-order, and obviously all of this web software is in beta, so there might be per key RGB in the future, but right now you can't. Let's move on to the macros tab. Looks like there's a lot of different options here for macros. You can record your own macros, obviously, insert your own fixed delays. So yeah, not bad. You can set your own macros here if you'd like. Let's move on to the most interesting part, which is the Hall Effect tab. Yeah, okay, so it looks like you can set 3 different profiles. By default, it looks like the actuation distance is set to 2.2 millimeters for every switch. So you can set per key actuation the same way you can on a Wooting. So let's say I wanted these 3 keys here to be lower. I would just click on these 3 keys, drag it down to, let's say, 1 millimeter, press submit, and then you can see here it updates. So my DFG are now on 1.0 millimeters. So you can do that, or you can set it for all of the keys. So I click set all operation distance, lights them all up, and then I can set it down to 1 millimeter for all of them, just like that. So pretty intuitive. So I'm gonna turn rapid trigger on here. Looks like the lowest you can go is 0.1 millimeters. So I'm gonna put that on for all of the keys. And then you can also like go advanced and you can change the reset and trigger distance if you want, but I'm just gonna go basic and do 0.1 for all of the keys. And then you also have a trigger demo here. So I guess we'll do it for W. Oh, cool. Okay, so you can actually see the rapid trigger in effect here. There's actually a visual. That's actually very cool. So you can see here when I'm like pressing the key down slowly, you can see it slowly fill up. And then right here, I'm bottoming out the switch. And then when I let go of the switch, you can see rapid trigger kicking in when the bar turns green. So even if I let go of it a little bit, you can see that rapid trigger is being activated. Yeah, the magnetic switches and the way Hall Effect is implemented on this board is actually pretty solid. You can see it's tracking it very, very well. Okay, so that's going to be my Hall Effect profile that I'm going to test on Valorant, because this is pretty much what I'm using on my Wooting. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the online software. Honestly, not bad considering it's still in the very early stages. Like what they have right now is actually pretty intuitive and really does all you need it to do, or does all that I need it to do. Okay, so we're in the range here. I'm just going to do a little bit of feathering on my keyboard, and then I'm going to do it on my Wooting as well. There's really not much to say. The rapid trigger is good. Yeah, there's really not much to say. The rapid trigger on this keyboard is very solid. There's really nothing to complain about. It performs just as I would expect it to. I really can't tell a difference between my Wooting and the Q1, just like swapping between them, like A/B testing. There's really no difference between the two in terms of responsiveness. Yeah, I mean, the magnetic switches in this keyboard is very solid. So yeah, in-game performance is very good. Okay, now let's move on to the sound test. I'm gonna do a little typing test for you guys so that you guys can sort of get an idea of how this keyboard sounds. Alright guys, so that's what this keyboard sounds like. Pretty much my final thoughts on the board and whether or not I would recommend it. It's very hard to say. So performance-wise, build quality, of course this keyboard is very, very solid. The Q1 feels great, and the build quality is very nice as well. You have the full aluminum board. It just feels very premium, right? But the thing is, a while ago I reviewed the Boog 75, and that is also a 75% Hall Effect switch keyboard, and it has the same things as the Q1. Really good build quality, full aluminum case. But I would say that the Boog 75, in my opinion, sounds better than the Q1. It was lubed better, and the switches overall, just the acoustic profile of the Boog 75, I prefer over the Keychron Q1. And it's pretty much the same price too. I'm pretty sure the Boog 75 right now is $219, same thing as the Q1. So there's a lot of competition in this price range, and especially in the Hall Effect keyboard market right now, there's just a bunch of competition. But the Boog 75 doesn't support 2.4 gigahertz connection or Bluetooth. So obviously if you need those features, then the Q1 is a no-brainer. So if you're using this a lot at your work or with your phone, just using the Bluetooth, then obviously the Q1 is going to be a no-brainer for you because it has that Bluetooth feature. But if you're primarily using this as a gaming keyboard at your computer and you're really not going to use it for anything else, you know, the Book 75 might be a better option to look into. Just because in my opinion, the Book 75 does have a nicer sound profile. Build quality wise though, they are both very solid, so you really can't go wrong going with either. And the Q1 has a volume knob as well if that matters to you. But that's pretty much it guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.